Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kickback presents the All Memphis Post Game Show, where we break down, recap, analyze every Memphis Tigers and or Memphis Grizzlies basketball game. Right after it happens, you don't have to wait for our takes. Per usual, I got the homie Mase with me, and we are talking about the Grizzlies' victory over the Houston Rockets. Was it 120 to 110? And Mase, how you feeling?
Hey, I thought this was going to be an ugly show. You know, you did a great job with your marketing 101. You put it out there on Facebook today about the show, and it's a game we should win. And so that was great. First of all, you know, you get an A+ in marketing 101 for that.
Thank
you
you.
know,
Thank you.
better than either of the Jazz games. This one sandwiched between. You know, so we want people to listen to a winning show, and you did just that. And then like midway through the third quarter, I go to take my dog on a walk because we're down 10 points, and I feel like I can't watch anymore. And I'm like, man, people are going to tune in, and we ain't going to have nothing to talk about. So I'm glad they were able to turn it around and come through for us. You know, definitely an ugly start to the game, but hey, 22 and 22. Desmond Bane, number 22, had a big game. DeAnthony Melton scored one more than 22 for a career high 23 or a season high 23. So, you know, it's all good.
Got them 22s. Throw it back to Rick Ross. Yeah, man, the way the game started out, the first quarter was super sloppy, my guy. Super sloppy. You can tell the Rockets, I mean, even though they started John Wall and they had Kelly Olynyk, like established NBA players starting, they still just look so bad at times. And they have these like Kevin Porter, who got ran out of Cleveland because for whatever reason, that real story hasn't come out. And like the Grizzlies were just playing down to their opponents, you know what I'm saying? And that was something that they normally do. They normally play down, and sometimes they play up, obviously, but it was good to see. It was good to see them pull out a victory because it could have been a lot different. The first quarter was ugly, sloppy, people falling down, throwing the ball everywhere. It just wasn't a good look. And like you said, I watched the first quarter, then I got busy doing some other stuff, eating, washing dishes, taking care of the house. And I would check back in, especially in the second half, and see, we're down by 10, or we start making a comeback or whatever. So it was a good team win, a way to end the road trip, like we said, 2-2. That's pretty much what we predicted before this 4-game road trip started. We were so close to being 3-1. And I think they said it during the broadcast about the slow starts. They mentioned something about the slow starts, and I think they mentioned something about Grizzlies being down at half.
So this was our ninth straight game trailing at halftime. And which is pretty remarkable that we've had basically a 500 record throughout that time as well. So we were down 5 to close the first quarter, and I don't remember the halftime. The halftime score was tied today. It was our first time we went into the half tied. So 9 straight games of not going into halftime with the lead. And we should have had a lead because right before half we had the ball with, the shot clock was turned off, and Ja just made a boneheaded play. He had Kevin Porter behind him, and, he really likes to kind of control the game and try to get that 5-on-4 when he's got an opponent behind him and keep him on his hip. Well, he ended up getting a charge. And the lesson there is just hold the ball for the last shot. Got a little too cute with it. So
yeah, that's the thing. I'm interested because like you see Ja versus John Wall, and I really wish like this version of Ja could have played a younger version of John Wall, or more in his prime version of John Wall. Well, yeah, I mean, but just to see that matchup, but it was good. The way this team plays together, as I walk slowly through my sentence, like we see them be down, we see them come back, we see them get themselves in a rut, we see them come back, and so it's in like the resiliency of this team is just something that's really good to see. There's a growth there. Dylan had 17. They made some big plays, some big shots, good defense. He was guarding John Wall a lot of the time, so No, everybody on the team did their role. The bench did their role. I mean, Desmond, Bane, and DeAnthony Melton combined for 40 points off the bench. Like that was great. And needed. All 40 of those points were needed. And like we said before the show, like that just shows you, like when one of these dudes has an off game, like somebody else can come right back in there. So Grayson, you better not be out too long, or we know you're going to come back and start. We can't say that anymore. But these dudes are more than capable of taking your minutes.
Yeah, and so Grayson went out in the first quarter. He with the nasty fall, basically tried to go up to block a shot and got spun around. It landed right on his hip. I'm not sure if that was the one that was hurt, but his whole body's going to be hurting for a few days after that fall. And our white guys just aren't that great at falling. We had McDermott almost bust his head open on the court a couple months ago now. So hopefully Grayson's okay. And as you know, it's as much as you hate to say someone's injury prone, he has been injured quite more than Bane or Melton so far this year. And it seems like last year as well. But like you said, Melton came in, had a season high 23 points. Bane was really good. Filled up the stats sheet, 17, 4 boards, 3 assists, a steal, a block, 7 to 10. Like that kid is doing everything we're asking of him. We were already without Justice tonight. I guess he had a sore thigh. So I don't know if some of those bricks like bounced back and hit him in the thigh or what's going on.
Don't start trying to blame your shooting woes on a sore thigh, my guy, because my boy has not been shooting the ball well. He hasn't played well these last few weeks. Games.
And it seems like the last game he did play really good that I can remember was in Houston, which is his hometown. So he must have been banged up to not play in his hometown.
I'm glad you said that because it made me think about Desmond Bane also had a good game against Houston the last time he played them, right?
Yeah.
And I want to look at his stats for the games played in Texas. I think we played the Mavs once already in Texas, and we played the Houston Rockets twice. I wonder if it's like, when I get back to Texas, I'm putting up big numbers. So I'm gonna check that out to see something because he always plays. He plays well in the state of Texas. Well, he has against the Houston Rockets. Maybe it's a matchup thing. But
everybody should play well against the Rockets. Let's be honest.
Right, and I think at what point they ended the game a 4-point. Were they a 4-point favorite? This game, I think something.
I'm not sure.
I don't know when the Rockets are going to be favored to win a game again.
They shouldn't be this year unless they're playing. I don't even know. And it seems like even though they've got John Wall and them, they're kind of not playing them all that much. It didn't feel like so. Kind of going in tank mode, which they really have no other choice. Right. So Christian Wood will probably be used sparingly. But even with their limited roster, I mean, DJ Augustine and Kelly Olynyk were lighting us up in the first quarter. And our 1-5 pick and roll defense was just completely exposed. And honestly, our defense was awful basically the whole first half. Just the rotations were not there. Guys were just not locked in. I don't know if they wanting to get done and go watch the tournament games or what. It seems like every time there's a big NCAA game going on, maybe it's because we got these young guys fresh out of college still connected. They just can't wait to watch those games, but it seems like we're not focused. But give the guys credit. They turned it around in the second half. I think it was Elliott. I can't remember if it was Elliott or Brevin. I can't remember which feed I was listening to. But they're like in the team against the Rockets, like if you're down 10 in second or third quarter, like you're going to get back in that game if you get some stops. And it's just a matter of getting your defense to continue to play that way and get a string of stops and then the offense to go with it. So it was just a matter of time. And you don't like to see us being one of those teams that just kind of turns it on there in the second half, but it worked tonight. So.
Well, I think I got an idea of what happened with the slow start. I mean, they got to Houston on Sunday. Houston's wide open. And so, it might have been a few sneak outs, went out to a couple of brunch spots yesterday or, hit a club up or something,
Well, and if they're vaccinated now, I guess they can go out. They can do a lot more if they are. So we saw Jaren got his shot the other day, so maybe the rest of the guys have too.
What do you think of Jaren's shirt?
I mean, it's a 21-year-old. It is what it is. I feel like I'm an old man now. I wouldn't wear it, but I wear like a white or gray T-shirt. So
right. Now, I don't know if I would do the floral print, but we've gotten 10 minutes into the show and hadn't even mentioned Jonas's name. Jonas had 30 points, 15 rebounds, which is what you would like. Once again, the Rockets don't have an inside presence. So whenever a team that doesn't have an inside presence and Jonas plays, you expect Jonas to eat, and that's what he did. 30 and 15, 18 shots to get 30 points. Not too bad for a big man.
No, not at all. I mean, he missed 5 buckets the whole time.
Right, missed five buckets. And he played well, played with the force. He made some big shots down the stretch in the fourth quarter. I think there was one play that they talked about a couple times. Brandon had the ball on the wing. Dylan went down the middle of the lane, set a screen. Jonas popped up, and his dude didn't fight through the screen, so he had a wide open 10-footer right there. And maybe they ran that play like once or twice and got buckets out of it each time. So it was good to see Jonas have a good game and Jonas have a dominant game like that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we do kind of take him for granted. That's elite production, and we just it's another day at the office for him. Honestly, we came to expect that, especially against someone like Kelly Olynyk. That's just time to eat, and but Olynyk kind of made him pay on the other end for much of the game. So much so that late in the game, Jonas was guarding Jayshawn Tate, who is like their new PJ Tucker kind of undersized 4-man. But Tate couldn't make him pay. They tried to go one-on-one a couple times to no avail. Tate couldn't get a shot off. He tried one that was like a fadeaway in the middle of the lane. But so they couldn't play him off the court. And I actually had in my notes when Bane was taken out for Melton with 2 minutes to go, I was like, why not take Valanciunas out so you can match up defensively? And then Valanciunas ended up scoring 6 points off of offensive rebound and one. So like as soon as I had that in my notes, so I put a little line through it.
It's also interesting. They didn't finish with Kyle. Kyle didn't finish. He played a lot. He played a few minutes in the fourth, and then they took him out and they ended with Bane and Melton. I believe it was Ja. No, it might not have been Bane and Melton. It was Ja, Jonas, Dylan,
Melton, and Brandon Clark.
So no Bane. So yeah, it was interesting to see that. I mean, BC had 7 and 5. It looks like. Good minutes from him. That's your usual production from Brandon Clark. So yeah, it was just a good. Once they got their shit together, and decided that we can't lose to this team. They did the right thing and we won the game. Like you would hate to lose this game and then have to go play Utah on Wednesday.
Yes.
So this was a must win, not even for playoff seeding or not for anything. This was just a must win for morale because Utah just beat you 2 times in a row. And now
for the city's morale, like we ain't trying to listen to two days of talk radio about how bad that loss was and how we got to play Utah and it'd be 4 games in a row if we lose. So shout out to the team, looking out for the mindfulness of the city because Utah is beating the heck out of Cleveland right now. And Fish even asked DeAnthony Melton in the post game, he's like, what'd you learn in those Utah games that you can take into Wednesday's matchup? And he was like, whew, we learned that they're a good team. Like, I don't know what you want me to say, Fish.
That they're pretty damn good. That's what we learned. And Donovan Mitchell is a beast. That's what
I hope we can slow down Mitchell, man.
That's what I learned. And you speaking about Memphis media, and you know how bad the Memphis fans can't wait to hop on Memphis media when they say something bad. So, which we saw evidence today with our good friend John Martin.
What happened?
Oh, well, John Martin tried to bring a little realness and levity to the situation concerning the Tigers winning the NIT, and a lot of fans weren't having it. I'll send you a recording of one of they were taking calls on the show. Jason and John were taking calls on the show.
Oh, really? I have to just go listen to that podcast.
Oh man, it's hilarious. It's hilarious because John wasn't wrong, but this is not the right time to speak about the realities of the situation. Like right after the game, you and I can do that because that's what we do. But John can't do that on the radio with a city full of people listening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but it was funny nonetheless. And true.
While we're talking about the Tigers, I guess we'll give a shout out to the Houston Cougars, punched their ticket to the Final Four. We're really giving it to Oregon State, and then they let them right back in it and had to fight and claw once again. Like most of their games have been close in the tournament. I think they had one blowout, but Houston, first team in the Final Four.
Houston don't want nothing easy. They just make everything hard. Like, bro, just keep playing the game and keep blowing them out. Like, y'all just made this difficult. But no, congrats to Kelvin Sampson. Congrats to Houston. And
congrats to your Arizona Wildcats women's basketball team.
Yeah, man, first Final Four in program history. It's pretty cool to see the ascent of that program. I think I mentioned it on the show, on one of the Tigers show earlier. Like, we hired a new coach. We hired a former player from the glory years, Adia Barnes, and she was a WNBA player. She might even coach at WNBA level, played overseas. Hired her to come back and resurrect the women's basketball program at the University of Arizona. She got her first big recruiting class, young lady named Ari McDonald from Fresno, California, who was like a top 30 player. Got her to commit, and it's been gangbusters ever since. Won the WNIT their sophomore year. Last year they were going to make the tournament, but the tournament got canceled, and now we're in the Final Four this year, man. So nothing but love to the Lady Wildcats of University of Arizona. Congrats. I think they run in the UConn in the Final Four, though, so might be short-lived.
I mean, there's only 2 more games to face them, so you're going to run into them eventually if you keep going. So
right, and I think I think Stanford might be on the other side, and we didn't beat Stanford this year. We won a lot of games in the Pac-12 conference, but I don't think we beat Stanford this year, which is fine. I mean, right now, Golden, whatever they want to do, they don't even have to show up to the Final Four. I don't care. They get to raise a banner in the McHale Center. They get the final. They make a Final Four. I'm very happy for that team. Very happy for that program. I don't have any personal connections to them anymore. I think the people I knew are already gone. But it's good for the school. I mean, right now our men's basketball program is the one that's holding things up. Like, our softball team is won a national championship. Our baseball team has won a national championship in like the last 10 years. Now our women's basketball team is making it to the Final Four. What we doing? Getting suspended for FBI violations.
Hey, well, you got the women's team to root for. So
won't fire Sean Miller.
And it's a former player. You love to see, a person like that bringing their alma mater back to glory, kind of resurrecting it. So the parallels remain between them and the Memphis men's program. And while we're on it, the Memphis women's program has a new start as of today. They hired Katrina Merriweather from Wright State University. She's made the tournament a few times, 3-time Coach of the Year in the Horizon League in the last 5 seasons, or the 5 seasons that she's been there. So, hey, I'll take it. I'm excited.
I mean, Memphis is a hotbed. We know this to be true. Memphis is a hotbed of basketball players. And for the last few years, we had some really good women basketball players come through the city. So I hope that she
two of them are on the roster.
Right. I hope she gets a chance to keep some of them here. We would lose them to teams like, we had, one went to Baylor. Well, I forgot her name. She was really good at Baylor. A couple went to Tennessee. We had some, but hopefully she can keep them here. Sometimes you need a little outside blood. And I know some of the Memphis fans were hoping that it would be somebody with a Memphis connection, but maybe you never know. You get somebody with some outside blood, bring in some other players and stuff. We'll see. So nothing but you're in the AAC without UConn. Should be easy enough.
Bring a transfer or two, maybe from Wright State, from the successful program.
Right. There's no sitting out anymore for the transfer, so there's that. Anything else on this game? Like,
the Grizzlies.
I don't know anything else. Like, this is almost getting to the point where we got to with the Tigers. Like, just win the game, and these are games you're supposed to win. Whether you win by 1 or you win by 10, you win the game. Some of the overarching themes, like you saw Jonas do what he did. The lineup and the roster flexibility is going to be very interesting. You saw, like, if Justice was available, who would have played less minutes today? Maybe we don't see Xavier Tillman.
I think that's it.
So we'll see what happens there. See if Grayson's like he fell hard. There was a hard fall, and if it was on his hip or his tailbone, he might be out for 1 or 2 games. Which can come back to hurt against a team like Utah because you're going to need some of that depth. So this game
it gives us some defense in the lineup, though. More defense in theory against the best offensive team in the world. So, but overall, offensively, we kind of got it going this game. But I thought our defense was concerning. I thought our lack of ball security was concerning. We had 16 turnovers. Luckily, Houston was only able to turn that into 17 points off turnovers. In the first half, they really didn't do it either. And then they beat us on the boards. They had 10 offensive rebounds to our 7 and beat us in second chance points. We gave up 58 points in the paint to this team. But luckily, the bench saved the day. You didn't get a big effort from Ja, and honestly, probably gas from the 2 Utah games, even though he didn't do much in the second one. And he still had 12, 8, and 5 on basically 50% from the field. And you got a dub. So, like you said, that's the important thing. And we'll see what happens Wednesday night. I guess we can get into these superlatives if you're ready.
Well, I want to you don't think this Ja's start or Ja's game tonight doesn't concern you? I think you mentioned it giving him a rest day at some point.
Yeah. No, it doesn't concern me. I mean, we won, and it was the Rockets. I didn't expect the team to really be fired up. It would have been nice, but what we've come to learn from this team is they play down or up to their competition, and they're going to come out flat every game pretty much. And thankfully, Dylan Brooks will usually try to get us going.
Good old Dylan. Dylan had 17, 4 and 4. Solid defense on John Wall. He was good. He was good. Dylan's becoming a Mr. Reliable now. You can rely on the double-double from Jonas. You can rely on about 7 or 8 assists from Ja. You can usually rely on Ja getting you 15 points too. Like you said, today he just kind of took it easy. He didn't.
Are you concerned with Ja?
I think not concerned, but I'm going to keep a watchful eye out on Ja. Because I do think at some point, like he should get a rest day at some point. Like he hasn't missed a game since he came back. And when was that, in December? I don't know.
Can't even remember.
But he's getting beat up. He's always frustrated from the foul calls and the non-foul calls. It's like, and if we're playing every other day, like we got a game, we play Utah on Wednesday, we play Minnesota on Friday. And I think I don't know who we play on that Sunday, or if we got a back-to-back. I don't even know what the schedule is. Pick a game in there just to sit them, and sit them. Do it now before Jaren gets back. And then when Jaren gets back, you just let them both ride out and see what you got for 10 to 12 games. But
are you proposing we sit him on Wednesday against Utah, against a good team?
No.
Is that
no,
what
no.
is it? Okay.
No, not against a good team. Not against a good team. You got to get them against you. Like I would like against Minnesota. Sure, who cares? Like
why? You need that win.
We could beat them anyway. We could beat them with Tyus starting. I don't know. I don't even know who we got in the next couple games where you could find a good rest game for them. Let's see.
A lot of them are on the road, I think.
Yeah. It's ugly. It's looking ugly, bro. There's not really a team that you can find a good one for him. Maybe against the
you got the 76ers on Sunday, after Minnesota on Friday.
You got the Heat on Tuesday.
Yep.
Then you got the Hawks. Knicks. Yes, it's gonna be rough. Maybe the Knicks. No. It's gonna be tough to find them one.
Yeah, I say if you're gonna do it on Wednesday. It's in the middle of the week.
Yeah, in the middle of the week, they already beat you twice. It ain't gonna really make too much of a difference. Like J.O. says, sit them versus the good teams because you're the underdog anyway.
That's what I've been trying to tell you for like 3 weeks now.
I don't know if I was sitting at home either. I don't know if I was sitting.
You're still mad about that Phoenix loss.
I am mad about that. You don't sit them for that game.
I don't even remember who we set out.
We said Grayson and we said Kyle Anderson for no reason. Everybody else gets a break except Ja. Hell no. Sit Ja down somewhere then. If you're gonna sit Kyle, sit Ja for one game. Let that boy rest.
So all right, man. Who you got for player of the game?
Player of the game. It's tough, man. It was a You're right, Jo. There are no fans at home. I mean, there's some fans in the building, so you can let them play at home. I would say, but my player of the game, I want to go with Jonas. 30 and 15. Like I said, we've seen him play against teams with no inside presence, so we expect that. But sometimes he falls off the map with teams with no inside presence. But tonight, focus, 13 and 15, player of the game.
Yeah, huge winning plays too. But I'll go Melton. I mean, every time this kid smells a whiff of opportunity, he rises to the occasion and just balls out. So 23 points, season high, 2 steals, all over the place. I don't think he'll start if Grayson's out, which I imagine the team is going to keep Grayson out. I think they'll probably move Bane back into the starting lineup, but we just got to hope Melton continues to get what he had, like 28 minutes tonight. So if he stays right around there between 25 and 30, it's better than 15. So
the fact that they don't play him, they wait till somebody gets hurt to give him these minutes when he produces in all the minutes that he's out is absolutely crazy. I don't understand it. I don't know what the inner workings of that are. So
Pac-12 bias.
Yes, of course. USC.
Never mind. We got 2 starters. Never mind.
USC is in the Elite Eight, playing Gonzaga tomorrow. Oh no, I might put my money on SC plus 9, but Gonzaga still might win the game. Bum of the game. Who's your bum of the game?
I'm gonna go with Kevin Porter, man. I don't like his little random rat tails. I'm like, where is that one coming from? So I'm going with Kevin Porter Jr.
I mentioned it once, and Kevin Porter Jr. is a great one. Daniel House Jr. Chicken House. He's a good candidate for this, but you know what? I'm gonna do this until something changes. Jaren Jackson's stylist is the bum of the game. Because these clothes are terrible. These clothes are terrible. This stupid shirt that he's wearing, needs to stop wearing that shirt. What is your play of the game?
Is that just gonna be your thing, like until Jaren comes back?
Right. The Rockets don't have a player that played at ASU, so I can't just default to them.
Let's see. Play of the game. I'm gonna go with. There was the Ja 3 late, but I'm gonna go with Jonas Valanciunas getting the offensive rebound off Desmond Bane's air ball off of the baseline out of bounds play and putting it back up because game was right in the hanging in the balance right there. So huge winning play from JV.
I didn't see a play of the game in the moments that I was watching, but hey man, play of the game, you won.
And as the buzzer sounded, Ja put one between his legs. So the play right after the game, maybe.
Yeah, right after the game. It was good. The 1-3 Ja made was a walk-in, like he walked into it. It was a good rhythm 3, which I think I made a point about that as I don't know if he's a better catch and shoot 3-point shooter, or is he a better walking into it 3-point shooter? I don't know which one it is.
I'm not sure. We'll have to look into the numbers. But, that one was big because we were up 3 and it was like 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go, and that one pushed it to 6. So big shot from Ja. Did you win any money?
No. Back on a cold streak with the Grizzlies again. Back on a cold streak. I did the usual, and the usual didn't help today. Per usual. So I guess I'm gonna have to rethink it again. Kyle. Had Kyle going for 10 and 4, which he did not. He had 7 and 2. Had Ja Morant scoring 15 points. We said he kind of chilled this game. He only had 12 points, but I had Ja getting over 4 assists. He ended up with 8. I said Dylan would score more than 15. He did. That Jonas would score more than 15. He did. That Brandon Clark would get more than 4 rebounds. He got 5. That Jonas would get more than 10 rebounds. He got 15. That Grayson would score more than 10 points, and he fell on his tailbone in the first quarter, and I didn't think it was that bad, but he didn't play. He didn't get back in the game, so Soon as he didn't come back in the game, this parlay was over anyway.
You didn't think it was that bad?
No, I mean, I just thought it was like just a tailbone. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Just walk that off, bro.
Hey, us slim white folks ain't built like that. That hurt me. That hurt me.
Put some ice on it. Let him sit out a corner. Put some ice on it, and then get back out there in the second half. But he did. Then I had John Wall getting 6 assists, which I think he finished with 8 or 9. Yeah, John Wall finished with 8 assists. Yeah. So the ones I missed were Kyle getting 10 and 4, Josh scoring 15, and Grayson scoring more than 10.
You said it's like it's not half the bet. The ones I missed.
Well, when Grayson wasn't gonna come back, it was all done anyway. Kyle hasn't got me my 10 and 4 in 3 games. No, he got it last game, didn't he?
There was one sprinkled in there, and I think it was last game.
He got it last because I didn't bet him to get it last game. Yeah. I think I just bet him to get the rebounds last game and not the points, and he did. So we'll have to rethink it. I'll for this Utah game, I will go back and look and see what I can do. I might bring down the number of options and just raise my bet from $3 to $5.
You might want to wait till we play Minnesota, man. You might want to.
Yeah, I might want to save my money.
You suggesting Ja take a night off, man? Maybe you should take a night off.
You're right. You're right.
Listeners, write in to Jamal's wife and say you agree.
It's so addictive. It's so addictive. Losing my $3 every other night.
Hey, the Hogs are making a comeback, down by 4 against Baylor. Last 10 minutes of this Elite 8 game. So we're gonna get out of here and go watch that. Oh, yeah. We'll be back Wednesday, but in the meantime, you can find me on Twitter at BarnburnerSlim. You can get the show wherever you get your podcast. Just search All Memphis Post Game. If you're listening still, you probably already know that, but subscribe and leave us a review. We would greatly appreciate it. Jay, where can they find you and the rest of the shows?
They can find me on Twitter at Nerdy McFly. They can find the video version of the show on YouTube at Diamond in the Bluff Media. They can find us on Facebook and at the Kickback and at Diamond in the Bluff Media. And like you say, the patio version on every streaming DSP. Subscribe, rate, comment, share. Let us know you like it.
What's DSP?
Digital streaming provider.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Just something along those lines. Streaming provider is what SP stands for. I think the D is digital. So with that being said, for Mase, I'm Jamal, and we are out.
Peace.